Hi there, kindergartners. Welcome back to handwriting. Today we're going to work on lowercase letter Z and the sight word do, okay? So first things first, let's put our name on our paper, no floating letters. And since we are still kind of coming back from winter break, things might be a little bit rusty. Let's review once again our expectations for handwriting. So this is a practice time for you to learn how to write these letters. So you need to be following along with the video. If the video is too fast, you may pause it to catch up, but you shouldn't be ahead of me in the video. So if I'm only on the second one of my second column, you shouldn't be all the way over here already. You're moving with me. I'm going slowly so that you guys can do the best handwriting possible. We're sitting up nice and tall, not crunched over, not laying down. The hand that is not writing is holding your paper flat to keep it stable. We don't want it moving while we're doing our writing. And we have a fairly sharp pencil. So mine isn't like pointy sharp, but it's also not flat and dull. So we want to make sure we have a decent pencil so that we can do our best writing. Holding our pencil down here, pinched between our thumb and middle finger. Pointer is for stability. Resting on our ring finger, and the pinky is kind of just here hanging out. All right, let's get started on Z. I find it easier with Z to tilt my paper a bit. I am right-handed, so because I have my pencil in this hand, I'm going to tilt my paper down towards the name area. If you are left-handed, you might tilt the paper the other way, whatever's comfortable for you. I am not left-handed, so I'm going to put my hand here. So I find it easier with Z to tilt my paper a bit because we have to do some zigzagging lines. So the other thing about Z is if you don't start in the right spot, if you start your Z incorrectly, the whole Z is going to be backwards. So when we start Z, we're going to start at the plane line. I'm going to kind of move my hand. This is not how I want you to write, but I want to show you, and it's hard if I'm blocking it. So I'm going to move my hand above. This is not how I want you writing your Z's. So hold your pencil the regular way, but this is just so you guys can see it. So I'm going to start here at the plane line, okay? And I'm going to pull towards this side of my paper, towards the right. So I'm going to plane line across. Then I'm going to keep my pencil on my paper, and I'm going to then pull down to the grass line, right? And then I'm going to grass line across. So it goes across, diagonal, across. Ready? Here we go. I'm going to tilt my paper more. It might look a little crooked on the screen, but it's the only way I can do it without covering the Z with my hand. Okay, here we go. Ready? Plane line across, pull down to the grass line, and then grass line across. Here we go. Ready? Plane line across, pull down to the grass line, and then grass line across. Last one in this column. Ready? Plane line across, pull down to the grass line, plane line across. All right. We've traced. Now it's time to do it together here. So we're going to start at that plane line, and we're going to move our pencil this way. If we go the other way, it's backwards. So plane line across, pull down to the grass line, grass line across. Notice that my little point here pretty much ends in the same spot as my line here begins. So that's how you make it even. Otherwise, you don't want it to be like wonky city, okay? Plane line across, pull down to the grass line, plane line across. Plane line across, pull down to the grass line across. I think I said plane line across there. I meant grass line. Plane line across, pull down to the grass line across. Good job. Okay, here we go. If they're getting a little bit silly, focus just on the shape for now. It's okay if they're not the right. If maybe they're kind of doing this, a little bit, they're too long, too skinny, too fat, that's okay. Focus right now on just making the lines in the correct directions. That matters more right now than if they look perfect. Plain line across, pull down to the grass line, plain line across. Couple more. Plain line across, pull down to the grass line across. I think I keep saying plain line for the grass line. Plain line across, pull down to the grass line across. Last one. Here we go. Deep breath. Sit up nice and tall. Plain line across. Pull down to the grass line across. Let me show you what would happen, friends, if I didn't have my hand holding my paper flat. I can't even write. It's pulling my paper. So I need to hold my paper flat. If I don't, I can't even, it doesn't work. So you have to hold your paper flat. Circle your best Z. And then turn your paper over to do the sight word do. I don't need to have this one quite as tilted. I find Z's and X's, I like to tilt my paper, but you don't have to. You can, however, it's okay to tilt it a little bit every time you write. That's normal, whatever direction. So lefties, you're gonna go this way. Righties, you're gonna go this way. So here we go. Do. Do is spelled D-O. We're gonna write it and we're gonna spell it at the same time. Ready? D. Oops, see, I gotta hold my paper. D-O. Do. So like, do you like to play with dogs? I do. Ready? D-O. Do. Let's review D really fast. D, we start with what looks like a C, and then it comes up into a line. So I'm going to go D, I'm going to come over, make my bump, and then come up and straight down. There's my D, and then O. Do. Last one in this column. Ready? You can't see my picture at all. Sorry. D, O. All right, here we go. Next column. D, O. Make sure that the bump on the D and the O are filling that whole space. Leave a little more space, though, than I did on that one. That one looks like they're connected. D, O. That's better. D, O. Do. One more in this column. D, O, do. Last column, sit up nice and tall. Make sure you're holding that paper flat. D, O, do. D, O, do. Two more. D, O, do. That one was pretty close to perfect. Let's see if I can do it again. Ready? Last one, best one. Finish strong. D, O, do. Circle your best one, and you are all done. Nice job.